I'll call the meeting to order at, what is it, 9:02?
6:02.
I'm thinking it's over. You can all stand, please, for the pledge of allegiance to the flag.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The district mission statement, the mission of the Exeter West Greenwich Regional School District is to empower students to dream, reach, and succeed. The open forum is now a 3-minute time limit per person, 15-minute maximum time allowance for the open forum. Comments must be directed to the chairperson of the school committee, who may limit or terminate the discussion. No comment should address personnel, litigation, or negotiations as restricted by open meeting regulations. The school committee cannot take action or vote on topics introduced that are not reflected on the agenda. At this time, is there anyone from the audience who would like to speak?
As a student,
Yes.
if you could come up here, that would be great. Well, we can hear you. That's good. This is the microphone.
Hi, my name is Anna Simonetti, and I'm student council president of Exeter West Greenwich. I live at 59 Forest Hills Drive in Exeter. Thank you for your recognition. I speak on behalf of EWG Student Council. We would like to address the behavior of Chairman Paul McFadden at recent school committee meetings. To put it plainly, we're embarrassed. Chairman Paul McFadden his behavior was not only inappropriate, but misogynistic. It displays a lack of respect towards the community, especially women. As chairman, Paul McFadden has a responsibility to our community, and his lack of integrity and moral principle is simply not acceptable and not kind. These are our core values at Exeter West Greenwich: respect, responsibility, integrity, and kindness, all of which he has violated. In 2014, my sister used to film the school committee meetings for community service. She would tell me after these meetings that his aggressive behavior and lack of respect towards his colleagues made her so uncomfortable that she would have silent panic attacks as she filmed the meetings. Mr. McFadden makes people uncomfortable, and Mr. McFadden is unfit to represent Exeter West Greenwich. We urge the EWG School Committee to please vote in favor of removing Mr. McFadden from the chair. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would someone else like to speak?
One moment. He has already been removed.
Yeah.
What was that comment?
He has already been removed.
He has resigned.
He has been done.
Yes.
From the chair or
From the chair.
So,
From the chair, but not from the
No.
members. Okay. And I hope it's watching on Zoom and hear it. Not that I'm saying this for everyone personnel. My name is Christina Boudreau. I'm an Exeter resident. I have 2 children currently in Metcalf and the junior high school. My husband and I chose to settle here based on the reputation of the school system. EWG staff and students alike are expected to treat one another with respect at all times, no matter their position. For the past 8 years, our family's experience has shown this practice to be successful. Both in the schools and at home, our children are taught that even if opinions differ, respect is paramount, and bullying or complacency with bullying is absolutely unacceptable. As a parent and as a taxpayer, I therefore feel that our school committee should live up to the same expectations placed upon the individuals in the schools every day. If our school committee is not run with decorum and respect, or if this behavior is tolerated, I fear the interest of those it is meant to represent will not be met. This could be detrimental to both the Exeter and the West Greenwich communities, and I love my community.
Thank you. Anyone else? Would anyone else like to speak? Just raise your hand. If not, then I'll close the public comment. Jim, can we go over the consent agenda?
Sure. Under consent, we have the approval of minutes from the November 23rd, our regular meeting. And we have our monthly bills. That's it. That's it. Very short.
Would anyone like to pull anything from the consent agenda? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda. Second. All those in favor of accepting the consent agenda? Correspondence. And correspondence is Micah Smith has one, so I'll pull that. And Paul McFadden notified the superintendent that he would no longer serve on the Charter Review Committee. And then recently today, he also resigned as chair. Monthly status reports. I have one question for Jim. The charter kind of involves the Charter Review Commission.
Yes.
Are they going to be presenting 3 changes? It looked like that's what was going to happen.
3.
And when will the committee be able to see those?
So I sent out the draft language based on the conversations that took place at the Charter Review Committee meetings to the committee members. I sent a reminder today to make sure that everybody had a chance to read it and to verify that that language is what we talked about. So the expectation is that at the next school committee meeting, we will have the proposed language changes ready for you. We will then send the changes over to the town council so they have a chance to see as well. But the topics were the calculation formula for apportionment based on a 5-year rolling average, the building committee makeup and process, which was a little bit vague in the original charter, and what was the other thing? The building committee and the charter review committee itself, the makeup of and the process for the charter review committee. So those are the only 3 areas that were approved by the review committee, and you'll see them at the next meeting.
Right.
Okay.
Does anyone else have anything? Or Bob, or Jim, or Jeremy? Claudine?
Thank you. Jim, I know Dr. Andrews back here from vacation, so in the report, she referred to the CTE programs.
Yes.
So we have a decent amount of members on the committee, and a couple of things I wanted to review. So for the one of the January meetings, if we could place a presentation to the school committee on CTE and pathways with some minutia, if you will. So what we offer, where we're going, what we offer, details on each program, tuitions, in district and out of district kids, and then marketing. I kind of really want to focus on the marketing thing. So if we can do that, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's not a problem. We have really good information that we can share on all of those things.
Andrea?
To build off of that I know in Dr. Ahern's update, she said that RIDE was considering allowing applications for this upcoming year. Is there a date that a decision would be made?
So the only date that we know of right now, and I forgot what the date is because we've already submitted, so we're well ahead of the date. We had to submit the names of any programs that we are potentially going to submit full applications for, and we submitted 8. So again, those are the possibilities. We may not submit the full 8 applications, but we're covered in the event that we do complete those applications. And then the staff at the high school is working on those applications now so that we're ready to submit. And you'll see later in the agenda for the approval of some new courses that we're moving forward with, making sure that the right courses are in the student selection book and so we're moving forward under the assumption that we will be able to. I did have a meeting today where RIDE representatives were on the call and we talked about the CTE process. There was two members of the board, of the CTE board of the state at the meeting, and they both indicated that they are that their intention is to move forward with allowing new applications to be submitted. So that's all I know at this point.
Okay.
And the only date that we have is one that we've already met.
Okay.
Okay.
And if approved, then these would launch in the fall?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And we already have, for several of them, we already have pathways in the school, but they're not CTE endorsed pathways. So for some of them, it won't represent a change other than the fact that the students can earn a credential, an industry recognized credential through the CTE program. So that's what we're moving forward with. And then there's a couple of brand new programs that have been on our radar, but we don't currently have all of the courses that are necessary, and that's why some of them are in the packet.
I see. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Also, in our last meeting, we had talked about coming up with a plan to contact the public to allow them to opt in to our automated reminder system. Do you have an update on if that's moved forward?
Yes. So actually, Jeremy and I talked about that today. Jeremy did all the research. We have the information. I am in the process with Robin. We worked on the communication that's going out to all of the residents of the 2 towns within the next few weeks, right, Robin? And we do that annually, and that's about all of the dates for the budget process. When we have meetings, when the budget is due to the school committee, opportunities for the community to be involved in. And we are going to include the information about opting into that new communication system so that anybody in the community has the opportunity to get reminders from us about important dates, voting, budget, all of those kinds of things.
Great.
So that'll be out in the community mailing within the next few weeks.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, and Bob, I just wanted to ask you about Toronto Architects on December 13th at 6 o'clock here. They're coming in to go to the greenhouse.
Correct. Right now, that is still scheduled. The meeting is definitely going to happen. The only sticking point is the travel restrictions due to the COVID strain. The gentleman who's representing the firm for the proposed greenhouse is coming from out of the country. So it's just a matter of if he can get a flight in from. So we're waiting to hear on that. But again, December 13th, 6 p.m., Junior Senior High School Library.
Not from South Africa.
No. Holland.
Oh, and Jeremy, I just had a quick question. We've been waiting a while for the Promethean tours. Do we know when they're coming in? Are they coming in? I know everything is.
They've been promising me next month for about 4 months now. As far as I know, they did get shipped from China. They're just on a boat somewhere.
Are some of those for Metcalf?
Yeah. A
So
large number of them.
double check, because when I was at Metcalf today, I believe there was an order that looked like the Promethean
Okay, they could have come
They
in.
were to the building today.
Oh, no, they ordered like.
Okay, my mistake. Sorry. They look like they were the right size.
Yeah, we ordered stuff in February and we're still waiting for it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
One company, so we've just given up on it. We don't need it anymore. We'll move on to new business. We need A and B with the new.
Sure.
Do we need A and B because he's resigned?
No, but I would suggest one thing, Madam Vice President, that before you go into replacement, you're gonna have to elect another person to chair this committee.
Okay.
That you accept the resignation by virtue of a vote from Mr. McFadden, so that it would preclude its withdrawal. And that then the committee can go ahead and act on the replacement.
So we could do that now.
You do that now.
Okay, would anyone like to make a motion to accept Paul McFadden's?
I make a motion to accept Member McFadden's resignation as chair.
Second?
Second.
Second, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Can I say something, Mark, President Springs, could you read the letter of resignation into the record so these people out of here can understand what he said in his letter?
Sure. It was received on December 6th, yesterday, approximately 2 o'clock here at the administration building. To the Honorable Exeter West Greenwich School Committee, I hereby resign my position as chairman of the Exeter West Greenwich School Committee, citing denial of due process, damage of reputation, and escalating health concerns. Thank you, Paul McFadden.
Okay, do we need executive sessions then either?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. So we don't have to. New business, election officer. Entertain a motion for a chairperson, a new chairperson. Entertain you. Is there a second? Oh, he made the motion. Oh, I can't hear it.
Member Still made a motion to nominate Diane Allen.
Yes.
Yes, I made the motion to elect, yeah.
That microphone wasn't on.
Member Turner, volume up.
There's no button. I don't think you got one. This one has the blue button. Oh, all right.
Got a green one.
The button-
There's a new one in my
the big
budget.
button is on. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Abstain?
Can I state my reason for abstention, please? While I acknowledge and agree that we need to change the leadership, I cannot in good conscience vote for a member who I believe contributed to the historical fracture of the school committee. Thank you.
Okay, seeing as I was the vice chair, we'll have to elect also a new vice chair. Yes,
I nominate Member Monroe as vice chair.
second,
Second.
any comment? Oh,
I just want to speak to the nomination.
okay.
I think it's important. Member Monroe holds the essential attributes of an effective school committee member and leader. Above all, she has the passion and genuine commitment to ensure the children of this community receive a high-quality education and a safe and trusting environment. She's always prepared, contributes to discussions thoughtfully and respectfully. She is student-centered and understands we serve the entire community. She is involved in the education field professionally and brings expertise and wisdom to discussions. Member Monroe understands and respects the roles of the superintendent and the school committee which is essential to a functional and productive, high-quality school district. I am confident under Member Monroe's leadership, the school committee will heal and we get back to the vital role our constituents entrusted in us. Emotional for me, so I apologize. Thank you so much.
Any other comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And Ms. Vice Chair. Okay,
Can I say this for the first time, Madam Chair? We do not currently have a clerk for the school committee, so if you wouldn't mind taking nominations for a clerk, that position was unfilled.
well, that's good.
Yeah, and then the other position is the RIAS, Rhode Island Association of School Committees delegate, which typically is the chairperson who serves in that capacity. So we just wanted to put those two on your radar.
Okay, I'll take nominations for the clerk. Never want to do that.
One of those jobs that there's leases require the clerk to sign it.
You know, there's-
So the clerk has signatory authority, so you can sign documents on behalf of the committee.
Yes.
And then during executive session, they take the minutes. And then if the chair and vice chair are present in the meeting, the clerk will public meeting. That's pretty much sums it up in a nutshell, if they're absent.
I guess that was. I think I was the last clerk. And the right, yes.
I'll nominate member Griffith as chair at this.
That
That was a flip. I'll nominate the member Griffith as a clerk.
I'll second that.
For my sins, right, for my sins.
All those in favor, please say aye. Before she changes her mind. Okay,
Thank you.
we need a RIAS delegate. And as the chair does that, I can do that. Okay.
That is typically the
We
chair.
do need to elect, right?
I'll nominate Diane.
Okay. And the second?
I'll second.
Any comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Legal services, I think Andrea brought this up before. Legal services, B.
So I think there was a lot of information in the packet, and I'd like to move that we move this discussion to our next meeting, if that's okay.
Yeah, I think that we can move, can we move both of those to the next meeting?
I didn't add the solicitor contract on there, so I don't.
Yeah, I think Paul put that on there. So why don't we move both of those to the next session, because they seem to go together.
Chair,
And, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Claudia?
yep, just for the solicitor contract, if there are any supporting documentation or material for the school committee, if we can get that ahead of time.
Okay.
Because we don't have anything in our packet.
Okay, great. Okay, and we'll move ahead to the approval of the new high school course offerings, human body systems. Actually, I kind of wanted to take a few of these courses.
Yeah, very exciting. So I'm going to take the lead on this because Dr. O'Brien is not here today, but the first two courses, and we can take them one at a time. The first two courses are connected to a new biomedical science pathway. So we currently have biotechnology offered at our school. but Project Lead the Way is a nationally recognized pathway in what they call biomedical science. So we are moving forward with that pathway, which has a much higher probability of being approved at the state level for a CTE endorsement. The courses that are outlined here, the first one is Human Body Systems, is one of the requirements in the Project Lead the Way nationally recognized pathway. It is something that we want to offer next year for students who want to enter into that pathway. I think either this course or the next course will actually replace something that currently exists, so that we instead of doing our own biotech, we're going to go to the nationally recognized biomed program. It is only offered in a few high schools, and it's extremely popular. And so the goal for us is to keep our kids here because we offer what they're interested in, and or to prevent them from having to go somewhere else with us paying a tuition to get something that we don't offer. So it's twofold. A lot of interest, a lot of popularity, so it's a good program moving forward for us.
Looked like it was all moving towards the medical.
Yes,
field. A
definitely.
lot of people are interested.
Mhm.
Any questions? But
If there is a question, obviously, I'm in total support of the program and the courses. There's normally we don't see a big cost to a course. So these do have costs associated with them.
Right.
So I think both the principles of biomedical science and human biosystems, like $31,000 to start, another $10,000 a year. So could you just speak to the, I guess the other two courses that are needed? Is there going to be a fee associated with those, and how much those will go into?
So just, this is not something that we've had a lot of experience with, but just so that the committee knows, for every program that we get certified through the state, which I'm going to move forward with certification, additional money comes to us through what's called the Perkins Grant. And the Perkins Grant assigns funding specific to each state certified program. And so any of the funding that we need for startup costs would come out of that Perkins, the designated funds for that program. So that's the first thing. If the startup costs are a little bit more than what we get in Perkins, what we've calculated is one tuition payment, just one, from a student coming to us from another district, more than covers those startup costs. So in the end, it should have no impact. And we do anticipate attracting people from other districts to come to our school for that program. Because again, it's not offered in many places at this point.
okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve human body systems course.
I'll make a motion to approve the new high school science department course offering human body system.
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Thanks.
And the principles of biomedical science.
So this is the second of the 4 courses in that pathway, Principles of Biomedical Science, and same rationale. Right, these are the first 2 courses for that program. And again, we currently offer biotech. The principles course would replace what we already offer.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Okay. To approve the new high school science department course offering principles of biomedical science. Okay. Second,
Second.
all those in favor, please say aye. And the introduction to criminal justice.
So this is a half credit class that will be open to 9th and 10th graders. It is part of an existing criminal justice pathway that we have in the school, but it is not a state approved CTE program. And part of the reason why we can't get state approval is that we don't have anything for ninth graders. So this is one of those pathways that we submitted as a possibility for an application forthcoming. And this would be the intro to criminal justice that ninth graders can take so that, we can move towards full certification at the state level.
Any questions?
Just a comment, they use an online resource called Street Law, which is really pretty excellent because I've used that foundationally in college level law courses for students who aren't aware of some of the basics. So it's really very useful.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the new high school science department and social studies department costs operating in criminal justice. Second, all those in favor, please say aye. And the last one, environmental science for offshore wind energy.
So this one is pretty exciting. I'll read the first sentence in the rationale for requesting the course. The content is a requirement of the offshore wind energy pathway as described by WIN-RI initiative. This pathway is certified by the North Kingstown Chamber of Commerce, who is also working with RIDE on the pathway certification. This is a brand new pathway that we're seeking RIDE's approval and the CTE board's approval for full certification. It is an up and coming industry, and drive around, you see it everywhere. And we would be among the first schools in the state to offer this as a full CTE program. So it's pretty exciting. We have a science teacher who's very involved in this kind of work already. Super excited about bringing it on board, but we want to get ahead of this game and make sure that we are among the first to get the certification.
That's great. Any questions for Jim? Not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the new high school science department's course offering offshore wind energy.
So
Second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Please, for record, even the transfer.
I think she's on, so.
Thanks, operator.
Okay, October 1st enrollment, which was included in the packet, Bob. This is the final.
This is the final. We finally received all of the proof of residencies and all the documentation. Again, it moves the dial a little bit with the final for the amount for October 1, 2021, 797 students, Exeter, 846 for West Greenwich. Exeter went up 1 student, West Greenwich went up 15 students. So for a total of 16, which is just about a little less than 1% of the total student population, very slight increase. So those will be the numbers for the apportionment that go forward in the summer. Yep.
Okay, and the charter review committee, I think we probably covered that already.
Yeah, because I included that in my status report, you asked about it. I don't have anything
Yeah.
to say.
Remember, I had a question. I just want to mention on the student population, there was a 0.41 difference in the contribution left off.
Yep, then the previous year.
Yep, so it's 0.41 up for Exeter and 0.41 down for West River.
Right.
Thank you.
Capital project update and bond discussion.
Yep, we're.
No, I missed it. Stop it. 2021, 2022, return to school guidance.
So unfortunately, my news today is not great. I just wanted to report that since we returned from the short Thanksgiving break, we have had 41 positive cases in the district. Most of them are at the junior and senior high school. The greatest percentage are unvaccinated students. And then we have had what is considered an outbreak in grade 4 at Metcalf. And that has impacted staff and students. We've actually closed 4 classrooms for the week. We don't have the staff to support the classrooms because the teachers have been impacted and a number of the students have been impacted as well. So I was on a call today with my colleagues from across the state, and the spike is happening everywhere. We did expect there to be a spike after the holiday. We did not expect the spike to be what we're seeing. So our nurses and our administrators have been working around the clock, weekends, nights. The contact tracing and the notification to parents is a lot at this point. So, you know, unfortunately, that's where we are.
We've never experienced that before.
No, that's the highest number of positive cases that we've had in that short amount of time since the pandemic started. And it's pretty consistent with what's happening in the state right now.
Any comments for Jim or discussion or anyone want to speak to it? Andrea?
At the state level, are they talking about any proactive approaches to our upcoming holidays?
Yeah, so we talked about that today, and the officers of the Superintendent's Association meet monthly with the commissioner. That meeting is tomorrow, so I'll be on, and that's the first item on the agenda, is to have the conversation, because right now it's unsustainable.
Mhm.
The amount of work that is involved, the disruption it's really a lot at this point. You know, a lot of families got together over the holidays, and we have not seen this spike, but family gatherings, and we have 5 times what we were during any other 2-week period prior to the holiday. That's the number.
I just hope that people are a little bit more careful over the Christmas vacation. Now, capital project update and bond discussion. The HVAC is all in.
So the capital project is moving along swimmingly, as we like to say. We are just waiting for, again, supply chain issues. I know everybody's tired of hearing that phrase, but it definitely does impact some of the work, some of the final work we're doing. But they are definitely moving in the right direction. As far as the financial picture goes, it's still very positive. We've submitted or have paid just over $3 million in bills for the project so far. And of that, of the payment, as you know, there is a Jumpstart program. It's called the PAYGO program from the state of Rhode Island. And that gave us essentially just under $2.5 million, like $2.4 million worth of money that we can apply for. That is a direct payment reimbursement right back to the district. And at this point, we've only have to receive $44,000 more dollars from the district, from the state. So that means that we've received approximately $2.47450 from the state, 2.4 million from the state. So that's very good, very positive cash flow. And that just helps us and takes away some of the pressure. Again, with the work that was approved, that's going to extend the project. It will have limited to no impact on the students, the faculty, the running of the systems. It's just added value that we felt, the committee felt they could capture at this point due to the positive financial position. So, are we good? Oh, stage 3, we're ready to go there. We're just wrapping up the final, the architect is putting the final touches on the stage 3 applications. All of the legwork has been done on all of the projects. So the site work, the parking lots, the playground, even the greenhouse, knowing both scenarios that are in play right now. We can pivot to one or a hybrid or two with very little effort by the architect and the engineers. And so we're looking for a December, January submittal approval by February, March, and then out to bid April, May, and then start all that work again. So, busy, but good busy. Very positive stuff.
And the policies, we have in our packet policy 3801. It actually looked like there was nothing changed. Like the same
So
policy.
this was placed on the agenda by Member McFadden, and I have not been given any information as to why it's on the agenda or what the proposed changes are. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's the same, it's absolutely the same, so. It's been working for us. Do you want to just move it, or take it off, or? There really are no changes.
I just want to mention, if you do put it back on that member next time request, if you could make sure we have specifics and again support documentation.
Right,
That'd be great.
yeah,
So
I
we can
don't see
prepare.
any changes though. so.
No, this is the copy of the existing
It's the
policy,
policy.
so I don't have any details to share with you.
Okay, so let's move it because, you know, I see no reason to vote on it again. It's a pretty good policy.
I mean, I think unless we know what is being recommended as a change, there's no reason to put it back on the agenda without any
Okay.
adjustments.
Yeah, and if there aren't any adjustments, we'll just leave it off.
Okay.
Okay, Exeter, West Greenwich School Committee versus Town of Exeter. An update, I guess, Bob?
I have been requested to submit our position in writing to the solicitor in Exeter. I'm in the process of doing it. I'll have it to him by the end of the week, and then we'll see if there's going to be a need for litigation.
Okay.
And I'll get back to you before. I won't make any moves or may have any discussions unless I speak with you.
Okay, great.
Cheryl, if I could, Mr. Nicolay.
Sure.
So if, again, we can have in our packet, if you do have
I'll
something.
send you a copy of that position that I'll send to the solicitor in Exeter.
Yeah, perfect. You guys will need to prepare for the meeting during this.
Absolutely.
discuss it. And then, I know I've mentioned this before, but I really do think that this item belongs in executive session. So I can make the motion now, or I can wait till later. I kind of want to make it now so we can actually proceed. So if I can make a motion that this agenda item, Exeter West Greenwich, it's actually Exeter West Greenwich Regional School District, not the school committee, versus the town of Exeter, be placed in executive session pursuant to RIGL 42-46-5A2 litigation.
Okay, I'll second that. Any more discussion on it? All those in favor, please say aye. Okay, important dates and meetings. Friday, January 7th, superintendent's draft budget available for school committee. Tuesday, January 11th, 2022. Tuesday, January 25th, school committee meeting. Wednesday, January 26th is the budget workshops. On Thursday and February 3rd, town council, school committee joint meeting, and also Bob's meeting, hopefully December 13th with the greenhouse.
Before you adjourn, I didn't get a chance to say this under the policy committee, but at the last meeting, there was a vote for me to write a policy regarding the group home.
Yes,
Right. So I took a look at existing policies, and there are two existing policies that I was easily able to add information in, a little bit in one and a little bit in the other. I didn't have it finished before this agenda was printed, but it is ready. I've already given it to Robin, and I will put that on the agenda for the next meeting. And you'll have the original policy with my recommended changes to comply with what the committee asked me to do at the last meeting. Okay.
Thank you.
Then I got one comment for you.
Yes.
As well. Just and a subsequent motion, I guess. So just because we are one district and all our kids go to the same building and we're all trying to make the best school system out there, I want to make a motion that we no longer sit in this kind of debate style format here. That we should be kind of one.
I'll second that.
All those in favor, please say aye. I love
Can I say one other thing before we close?
it. Yes.
I know we can't respond to anything in open forum, but I do want to acknowledge everybody who showed up, especially the young people in the audience today. What you're doing is very powerful, and I just want you to know that we hear you and your voice matters. Thank you for showing up.
Okay, if nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
All is good.
Second,
All of them.
all those in favor? Aye. Wouldn't be fun, so much, no.